Hello children, welcome to Guru Gedara. During the last few months, we have been discussing some important lessons with you. Today also, we are going to discuss another important lesson. And we know that you are going to sit for the O-level examination in a few more days to come. So, today we have decided to have a revision lesson. We are going to revise some of the previous lessons that we have already discussed. Before we start the revision, let us have a look at the format of the paper. The GCE ordinary level paper comes as two papers, paper 1, paper 2. In paper 1, you have 40 marks. For paper 2, you will be given 60 marks. Altogether, you will get 100 marks. If you analyze the questions in paper 1, you can find out that there are 8 questions. The first question is on vocabulary, second grammar, third once again vocabulary, fourth reading, fifth reading, sixth writing, seventh reading and eighth writing. For all these questions you get 5 marks each. So, 5 into 8, 40. That is how you get marks for the first paper. Children, let us pay attention to question number 6 and question number 8. Question number 6 and question number 8 are writing activities. Some students pay very less attention on writing activities. That is because they think that the writing activities are very difficult. So, they pay less attention. But look at the way how marks are given to the students. For the content, you get 2 marks. For the language, you get 3 marks. If you write the answer with the given points according to the question and with the grammatically correct sentences, you can easily score marks. So, pay attention on writing activities. Only thing you have to do is to read the question well, understand the question and find out what you have to include in your answer. So, all points should be included in your answer in order to get 2 marks for the content. And at the same time, you have to write grammatically correct sentences. Your idea should be correctly conveyed to the reader so that you can easily take 5 marks. So, question number 6 and 8 are important questions where you can easily score 10 marks for both questions. The second paper is bit challenging. If you pay attention to the second paper, you understand that you get more marks for the second paper. Question number 9 is on vocabulary. You will be given 5 marks. Question number 10 is on grammar. You will be given 5 marks again. Question number 11, question number 12, 13. For the question number 11, you get 7, 12 and 13, 5 marks each. Question number 14 is a writing activity. There you can see that you will get 3 marks for the content, 3 marks for language, 2 marks for organization and 2 marks for mechanics of writing. And we have discussed letter writing activities in the previous lessons. So, you can refer to the previous lessons to gain more idea on writing activities. Question number 15 is a reading comprehension. Question number 16 is a writing activity for which you get 15 marks. Content 5, language 5, organization 2 and then mechanics of writing 3 marks. So, that is how you get 60 marks. Now, today we are going to pay attention to some of the questions that might appear in the O-level paper. These are some model questions as well as past paper questions. What are the things we are going to discuss during this hour? we are going to pay attention to picture description, and then word classes, then bar graphs, pie charts. Depending on the availability of time, I am trying to discuss notices and invitations. We will be able to discuss all these things only if time permits us. Picture description is one of the compulsory questions in the first paper. If you pay much attention on this, you can easily score 5 marks. When you have the picture, what you should do is you have to look at the picture, observe the picture very carefully. When you observe the picture, pay your attention to the things and the people in the picture. When you observe the things, you better find out the places where they are. For example, when you have a look at this picture, you can see that there is a bottle on the table, and then there is a bat. The bat is near the two. So, you have to pay attention to these things and in their places. If there are people in the picture, of course, there are no people in this one. If there are people in the picture, you have to think of what they are wearing and what they are doing. So, please observe the picture very carefully before you start this activity. Look at this picture. What should you do after observing the picture? If you can identify the object and the people in it, you can read the words if the words are given. Sometimes the words are given in a word bank. Sometimes words may not be given. If the words are given, it is easy because you have to use the given words. If the words are not given, then of course you have to think of the most suitable word to use in order to fill in the blank. The most appropriate word has to be used. Then you have to read the description very carefully. So, when you read this description, you can easily understand the suitable word for each blank. Right, children, let us get together. Rather than I describing all these things, I presenting my answers, right, it is better if you can join us. If you can join me in order to find the answers for this question. Let us see, this is Kama's room. He has gone out and the door is, the suitable answer, closed. Number 2, his bed is near the and there is a curtain partly covering it. His bed is near the window. This is of course very easy even if we do not have the words given in the question. Third blank, there is a of Sri Lanka hanging on blank. His bed is a very narrow one with a blank on one side. What are the suitable answers? There is a map, there is a picture of Sri Lanka hanging on the wall. His bed is a very narrow one with a pillow on one side. So, now we have completed 5 blanks. Let us have a look at the rest. What is the suitable word that we can use to fill in blank 6? The 2 shirts and a pair of trousers are hung on the wall hanger. Number 8 and 9, just try to do it. Yes, he has a big chair to sit on when he is studying. On his table are several books. And the last one, his mother has placed a bottle of water on it for him to drink when he is thirsty. His room is neat and clean. Now, my dear children, you can understand that this question is very easy. You can easily score 5 marks if you pay much attention on that. Only thing is you have to use the right word in the right place. Let us have a look at the next, word classes. When you say word classes, there are various kinds of word classes, but today I am going to pay attention to nouns, verbs, adjectives and adverbs. In the previous lessons, you have learned these word classes. you have done several activities, but today I am going to show you something different. Have a look at this word strength. This is a noun. You know my strength. It is a noun. This noun can be converted into an adjective. It can be converted into a verb. It can be converted into an adverb. So, a word belong to one word class can be converted into different word classes. So, by converting them into different word classes, sometimes we have to fill in the blanks. We have to use them appropriately in sentences. Strength is a noun. What is the adjective? Strong. He is a strong man. It can be used, it can be converted into a verb, strengthen. We should try our best to strengthen the international relationships. I strongly recommend that you have to wear shoes when you go to school. So, the word strength can be converted into a noun, can be converted into a verb, can be converted into an adverb, can be converted into an adjective. Have a look at this one. Beauty. Look at the beauty of that stroke. It is a noun. Everyone knows that it is a noun, but it can be converted into an adjective. Beautiful. Can we convert it into a verb? Of course, yes. Beautify. So, what about an adverb? She sang beautifully. Yes, it can be converted into an adverb as well. Believe. It is a verb. I believe you. But it can be converted into an adjective. Believable. Belief. Believably. Believable is the adjective. Belief is the noun. Believably is the adverb. So, the word believe can be converted into an adjective, a noun and an adverb. With the use of that knowledge, we are going to have a look at this simple activity. Here, the word strong should be converted into different word classes in order to fill in this blank. It should be converted into an adjective, adverb or verb. Children, can you try to do this activity? I will give you a few minutes, few seconds I suppose, right? I can't give you few minutes because I have to save time. Let us see. True friendship is a strong bond that strengthens the relationship through sharing, caring and understanding. We can strongly rely on a person as a friend who stands with us in times of difficulties. The strength of a relationship depends on the commitment of the individuals concerned. Look at the way how the different word classes of the same word can be used in order to fill in these blanks. Let us have a look at another activity. Wide. It is a wide ball. The width of the road through the village was not sufficient. So, we have converted the word wide into width. The width of the road through the village was not sufficient. So, what did the villagers do? So, the villagers decided to widen the road because, why is that? Why did they want to widen the road? Because it was a widely known shortcut to the nearby town. Yet, they found that it would cost much to make it wider. This is a very simple activity, right? So, with the use of the knowledge of word classes, you can do this activity very easily. Now, we are going to pay attention to one of the most important questions in the second paper. Question number 14. Sometimes some students say that question number 14 is hard, but I am sure that if you pay attention to this lesson, you will be able to understand it easily so that you can perform at the examination Very well. Graphs and charts. We are going to discuss bar graphs and pie charts. Let us have a look at this. What are the words that we should remember when we write descriptions about bar graphs and pie charts? The words that I am going to tell you are very important. They are very vital because we have to use these words in order to describe the information given in the bar graphs and the pie charts. Vertical axis and then horizontal axis. The most popular, the least popular, the most popular, least popular, they go together, and the highest number, the highest percentage, or the lowest number, the lowest percentage. Children, please remember that you have to use most of these words when you write a description. It is understood that you can't use each and every word, but you have to use most of them. Let us see how to use them in meaningful sentences in later slides. There are some more words that we have to remember. More popular than. When you compare things, you have to use more popular, less popular, more important, less important. Such words are important. Higher and then lower, equal, similar, minimum, maximum. These are some of the words that we have to use when we write descriptions. These words are very helpful to us to give our idea very clearly. When you link the ideas, when you connect the ideas or sentences, you have to use these words. And also, as well as, remember children, sometimes I have seen that the children start sentences with as well as. Never start sentences with as well as. It is used to compare things. Linking ideas. Not only, but also, accordingly, likewise, similarly. Those are some of the words that you can use. When you contrast the ideas and the words, you have to use words such as but, however, whereas, though, although, right. Okay. Now let us have a look at question number 14. Can you read this question, children? A research was conducted among the grade 11 students of your school to find out their leisure time activities. Here are the findings. Closely examine them and write a description using the information given in the bar chart. So, the bar chart is given below. Children, when you write the answer, when you begin the answer, make sure that you can begin the answer or you can use some of these sentences in your paragraph, in your description. Be intelligent and use some of them. A research was conducted among the grade 11 students of your school. So, when you convert this sentence in order to write your description, the word your should be changed into my. A research was conducted among the grade 11 students of our school, my school, to find out the leisure time activities of the students. Be intelligent when you use these sentences in your description, right? Have a look at it again. A research was conducted among the grade 11 students of your school to find out leisure time activities. Here are the findings. Closely examine them and write a description using the information given in the bar chart. Okay. Read this question around 2-3 times. After that, you can get a clear cut idea. Then you have to observe the bar chart. You have to see the bar chart very carefully. Look at this one. Before having a look at the bar chart, let us see the format of our writing. How are we going to organize our description? when you organize your description about a bar chart or a pie chart, you have to write an introductory sentence. The first sentence of the description should be an introductory sentence. It should give an introduction to what you are going to write. Then in the second sentence, you have to mention about the majority, the leisure time activity or whatever that most of the students are interested in. Then the next sentence is about the least popular activity, most popular activity and then the least popular activity. After that, you can compare the activities with each other. If there are equal numbers, you can mention that one as well. Then the last sentence is the concluding statement. Introductory statement, the most popular activity, the least popular activity, comparison and then finally concluding statement. That is how you have to organize your description when you write about a bar chart or a pie chart. Now let us have a look at a bar chart. Look at this. Leisure time activities, x axis, number of students, y axis. Watching television, there are 20 students, those who are interested in watching television. Then reading books, 15, playing games, 20, gardening, just 5 students are interested in gardening, listening to music, 10 students, surfing the internet, oh my God, 30 students. So these are the findings of the research. Now we are going to write a paragraph on this. The first sentence is the introductory statement. The given bar graph shows the findings of the research conducted among the grade 11 students of our school, right. When you write the paragraph, make sure that you are not going to write the word introduction. I have just given you the word introduction only for your convenience, right. Do not write the word introduction at the beginning of the paragraph. You can go on writing the paragraph, but I have written the word introduction here in order to help you to understand that this is the introductory statement. Read this one, children. The given bar graph shows the findings of a research conducted among the grade 11 students of our school. It was held in order to find out how they spend their leisure time. When you have a look at these two sentences, you can understand that I have taken the idea from the question. Be intelligent all the time. You can use the sentence patterns available in question in order to begin the answer. The given bar graph or the bar graph above, the bar graph given above can be used as well. So this is the introductory statement. We are going to talk about x axis and y axis because this is important, right. After the introductory statement, you have to write a sentence in order to make the reader aware what x axis represents and y axis represents, right. So you should make the reader understand about these two things. Different leisure time activities are represented by x axis and y axis represents the number of students. So in a bar chart, this sentence is compulsory. Then the third thing, you have to talk about the most popular activity. After that, we are going to talk about the least popular activity. That is how we are going to organize our paragraph. Introductory statement, then you mention about x axis and y axis. After that, you are going to talk about the most popular activity. What is it? Surfing the internet. According to the research results, the highest number of students surf the internet during their leisure time. Simple sentence. According to the research results, according to the findings, the highest number of students, or according to the findings, we can say that the highest number of students surf the internet during their leisure time. It is quite simple. And then they are 30 in number. You can mention the number as well. The highest and then the lowest. What is the lowest? What is the least popular activity? Watching television, reading books, playing games, gardening. Gardening is the least popular activity. Surfing the internet is the most popular activity and gardening is the least popular activity. Look at the sentence. Gardening is the least popular activity which is preferred by only 5 students. Children, if you find that this sentence is very lengthy and difficult to write it down, I have another option. Look at this one. Gardening is the least popular activity. Only 5 students prefer it. Rather than writing compound and complex sentences, you can write simple sentences as well. What we need is, we have to convey the idea. In order to convey the idea, you can use either simple, compound or complex sentences. But remember, it should be grammatically correct. Your idea should be correctly conveyed. That is what we have to think of. Highest, lowest. Then we are moving to comparison. Look at this sentence. Although television is widely used by scholars in general, everyone uses televisions these days. Everyone watches television these days. Here it is enjoyed by only 20 students because the most popular activity is surfing the internet. Comparison. More than, less than. More than, less than. We are going to compare the information available in the bar chart. Even though reading books is more popular than listening to music, it is less popular than watching television. Look at this. Reading books is more popular than listening to music. Reading books is more popular than listening to music. Yes, it's correct. Then it is less popular than watching television. Watching television is more popular than reading books. Playing games is more popular than listening to music. You can write it in that way as well, right? You can say that watching television is more popular than reading books. Playing games is more popular than listening to music. Or you can say listening to music is less popular than playing games. With the use of simple sentences, you can score marks. Then equal number. Look at this. Watching television and playing games. 20 students enjoy watching television and the same number of students play games as well. An equal number of students engage in watching television and playing games during their leisure time. It is quite simple. Then finally, the concluding statement. What is the concluding statement? When you observe, when you have a look at this bar graph or when you have a look at these findings, what is the conclusion that you can arrive at? This is the conclusion. What is it? According to the research findings, it can be concluded that most of the students are fond of new technology, surfing the internet. Most of the students are fond of new technology. This is how we can write a description about a bar graph. It is quite easy. Now we are moving to a pie chart. It is also easy. Writing a description on a bar graph and a pie chart are both very easy. Both of them are easy, right? Let us have a look at the pie chart. The following pie chart shows the findings of a research conducted among the grade 11 students of Sandungama Central College in order to find out how they gather information. Write a paragraph describing the results of the research. Children, please read this question. The following pie chart. One of the things that I have noticed in some of the students is that when they use the same sentences in their descriptions, they forget to change the word following pie chart. They forget to change the word following. They write the description, the following pie chart, but they forget that the pie chart is above, right? So, children, please remember, when you use the same sentences in order to write the description, you have to change certain words. Okay, the following pie chart. Let us have a look at this pie chart. Right? The pie chart reveals on how they gather information, how the children gather information. Look at this. Books 30%, television 25%, radio 5%, internet 20%, newspapers 10%, and magazines also 10%. Right. When you have a look at this pie chart, you can understand that the majority of the students still rely on books in order to find information, right? Okay. Now, what is the format of our description? The previous one, the same thing. What is the same thing? The same thing that we use when we wrote the description on the bar graph. What is the format? The first few sentences or the first sentence is the introductory statement. The second one, the most, then the least, then the comparison, then the concluding statement. Children, there are 5 points here. It does not mean that you have to write only 5 sentences, right? Only 5 points are there in order to help you to organize your writing. These 5 points can be used in order to write any number of sentences, but you have to manage within the number of words given. In each writing activity, they have given you the number of words that you have to include. So, do not exceed the limit. Let us see what we are going to write here. Look at the introductory statement. The above pie chart shows the findings of a research conducted among the grade 11 students of Sandungama Central College in order to find out how they gather information. The word following is changed into the above. So, this is the introductory statement. The introductory statement gives us the idea of what it is, what this paragraph is about. Then the majority, right? What is the highest percentage? Books. So, how do you write it? According to the research findings, the majority of the students read books to gather information. According to the research findings, the majority of the students read books to gather information. Nearly 30% of the students refer books. Hope that it is quite clear. The majority, then the most popular activity, then the least popular activity. What is the least popular activity? Radio. Radio is the least popular mode and only 5% of the students prefer it. Very easy, a simple sentence. Then the next, television is used by only 25% of the students in the process of gathering information, another fact. After that, we are going to compare. How are we going to compare the information here in the pie chart? Let us see. The percentage of the students using the internet is lower than the percentage of them using television. What is the percentage of the students using internet? 20%. What is the percentage of the students using television? 25. So, the percentage of the students using the internet is lower than the percentage of the students using television, right? Or else you can say the percentage of the students using newspaper is lower than the percentage of the student using internet. You can compare in different ways according to the information available in the pie chart, or at the same time you can say the percentage of the students those who listen to the radio is lower than the percentage of the students those who read the newspapers. There are different ways of comparing things, and then you have to deal with the equal number. Newspapers and then the magazine. An equal number of children refer to newspapers and magazines in order to gather data. Quite easy. What is next? The concluding statement. What is our concluding statement? Let us see. Read this one, children. I have been reading for you a lot, so why not you read it? In conclusion, we can state that the majority of the students rely on printed material to gather information for their educational and personal needs. So, when you write this information in your description with the use of grammatically correct sentences, you can easily score marks. I hope that you have clearly understood on how to write descriptions about bar graphs and pie charts. So, now we are moving to another activity, notices, another important section. What is the format of a notice? How are we going to write a notice? This is an easy question that appears in the O-level paper, writing a notice. Every notice has a topic, and you have to mention who the notice is for in your notice. Then what is it about? After that, who organizes it? Then the purpose of the notice. Then comes the most important thing, more information, time, date, venue, chief guest, guest of honor, guest speaker, age groups, categories, prices. Those are the things that we are going to include under more information. After that, the request, then the writer or the person who is in charge of this activity, and the date. These information should be included in the notice in order to make it a meaningful one. A meaningful notice will help you to score marks. Now, we are going to see how we can organize this information in our notice. Before that, we are going to pay attention to the useful hints. The word notice should be on top. When you write a notice, the word notice should be on top. The message should be written as a paragraph, not as separate sentences. It should be written as one paragraph or two paragraphs. If it is a lengthy notice, it can contain two paragraphs. And the message should be very clearly conveyed. All necessary details should be included in it. Mind you, when you read the question, you should understand what you should include in your notice. All those information should be included in your answer. Children, will you read this question? I will give you time. Prepare a notice to invite the members and the newcomers to the monthly meeting of the Science Society. Inform them that Professor Sarath Kure of University of Colombo will deliver a speech on the future of ICT. What is the purpose of writing this notice? We are writing this notice in order to invite the students to take part in the monthly meeting. Are we going to invite only the members? No, we are going to invite the newcomers as well. Are we going to have any kind of important event in this meeting? Of course, yes. Professor Sarath Kure will deliver a special speech. So, these information should be included in the notice with time, date, venue. If you can include them with completely correct sentences, you can get marks. Let us see how we are going to write it. What is the topic? Notice. Then who is the notice for? All the members of the Science Society. This notice is for all the members of the Science Society. What is it about? It is about the monthly meeting of the Science Society. The next, who organizes it? It is organized by the Science Society. What is the purpose of writing this notice? To invite the members as well as the newcomers. When you write the purpose, if you use to, you have to use the infinitive. If you use for, you have to use the ing form. To educate the members about the new inventions of the 21st century. More information. I always tell my students to remember it as TDV. TDV. TDV means time, date, venue. You can easily remember it as TDV. More information, TDV. Time, date, venue. Then chief guest, guest of honor, guest lecture, categories, prizes. Those information should be included depending on the question. When you write the date, you can say on Friday or 3rd November. If this particular event lasts for 2-3 days, then from 3rd to 5th December. When you mention the time, you can say at 8:30 a.m. or at 1:30 p.m. or after school during the interval from 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. You can mention the time in one of those ways. Then venue, maybe in the main hall, in the playground, in the auditorium, you can mention the venue. And Professor Sarath Kure, he is going to deliver the guest lecture. These are the more information we are going to include in our notice. And then the request. You are going to request the members to attend the meeting. At the same time, you are going to request the newcomers also to take part in the event. All members are invited to witness this event. Newcomers are also welcome. Then teacher in charge, Science Society, 20th October 2021, the date. That is how you have to organize information in a notice. Now I have a notice written by me. You can just go through this notice and see whether I have included all necessary information. Let us see. You see, on the top of the notice I have written the word notice. On the bottom right hand corner, teacher in charge, Science Society. On the bottom left hand corner, I have included the date. Let us read this one. All the members of the Science Society are informed that the monthly meeting of the Science Society will be held on 3rd April 2021 at 1:30 p.m. in the auditorium. Professor Sarath Kure of University of Colombo will deliver the guest lecture on the future of ICT. All members are invited to witness this event. Newcomers are also welcome. It is quite simple, very easy. Writing a notice is not a difficult task. The next activity, invitations. We have to write invitations for different purposes when it comes to our school levels. When you have a prize giving, colors night, sports meet, exhibition, science day, commerce day, you have to write invitations. These are called formal invitations. Let us have a look at the format of an invitation card. When you write the invitation, these are the things you have to include in it. Who invites? Who is invited? What is the event? More information in the sense time, date, venue, chief guest and all. The same thing, TDV. Name of the person who invites, date. Those are the information you have to include there. Let us prepare an official invitation. Children, let us prepare an official invitation. What is the event? There are some hints that we have to remember. When you write an invitation, you have to write all the things in complete sentences, and all the lines are middle indented. The word invitation should be placed on top. Date should be placed as date, month, year, and then name and the post of the person who invites should be on bottom right hand corner. Leave the space to write the name of the person invited. You have to leave a blank. This is what you call middle indented. Not that all the things are taken onto your left or onto your right. It is middle indented. Look at this question. As the organizing secretary of the college sports meet, prepare an invitation to invite the guests. A very simple activity. Okay, shall we write it? It is going to be interesting. Let us see. The first one, who invites? When it comes to a school event, the principal, academic staff and the students, they are the ones, those who invite a person to take part in an event. Let us see, principal, academic staff and the students of Ananda College, they are the ones, those who invite. Who is invited? Reverend, Mr., Mrs., Miss, and you have to leave a blank. You have to leave this blank in order to write down the name of the person who is invited. What is the event? Annual Inter-House Sports Meet 2021. More information, time, date, venue, and then the chief guest. Those are the information that we have to include, and then who writes it? The principal. Let us have a look at this invitation. This has been written according to the way how I have told you. Children, please read this one. Invitation. Principal, academic staff and the students of Ananda College cordially invite Mr. and Mrs. so and so to the annual Inter-House Sports Meet 2021 to be held on Monday 25th March 2021 at 1:30 p.m. at GW Rajapaksa grounds. Full stop. The chief guest will be the Honorable Minister of Education. 10th March 2021, Principal, Ananda College, Kalambuten. Okay. Hope that you have understood this invitation. Children, today we have discussed important hints on several questions. This is a revision lesson. I hope that in this revision lesson you have understood all what we have discussed. So, what you can do is you can watch it on YouTube on channel NIE again and again, so that you can be very confident with the questions that we have discussed today. Hope that you have enjoyed the today's lesson. Thank you very much for joining. We will see you very soon.